Alrighty. Good morning, Sawadee Kap. What's going on, everybody? We are here at Starbucks in the mall Bangkok, as is often the case. And some news coming out of Thailand today. But before I get into all that, the Thai baht has rebounded. It's down to 33.55, or up to 33.55 rather, to the dollar, which that's about 0.4 down. It was about 33.9596 the other day, and now we're at 33.55. And I suspect it has something to do with the news that's come out of here. The air quality is 29. It is currently 84, high of 88, low of 79. The feel-like temperature at 9 o'clock is 97. 78% humidity, 50% chance of rain. It was raining earlier, but now it's a nice clear day. Winds southeast 3 miles an hour. And I want to give a big thank you to all those who have been contributing through whatever means, Patreon. I like that Buy Me a Coffee, PayPal, Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, the YouTube sponsor program, all that stuff, CASHAPP. Thank you very much. And the occasional cryptocurrency that I get. Thank you very much to everybody. Thank you to the regular contributors. I really appreciate it. So, as I said, obviously I'm back in Bangkok. We got back Sunday night. And I think all of us pretty much took a day just to chill after coming back from Hue Hin. But at least I know I did. Right now we have Miss Beer is working, and we also have a girl from another store. I think her name is Yori. That's the whole crew. And there's one guy sitting here with me, and that's it. So we got 4 people in this place. The first thing that's happening is that supposedly on November 1st, this place will open to countries without any quarantine. However, I can tell you, I wish I could say that was great news, but it is big news because for some people, they don't care about paying insurance and their certificate of entry. Really, all you're going to need is your vaccination papers and a PCR test. And this is supposed to be finalized in another 2 days, so Thursday. You're going to need your certificate of entry and also your insurance. They did not say how many PCR tests, but they said test, not tests. So it may only be 1. Once you're here, you're here. I don't know why they would do that. I would think it would be at least 2. And so far, the countries that they've announced that I've seen are the United States, UK, Singapore, Germany, and China. That's it. So, I can tell you that nobody is going to be entering this country without being vaccinated for, I'm going to say, many years. It's not going to happen. They're not going to let you in. They're not going to risk it. most people don't have a problem with getting vaccinated, or many people don't have a problem with getting vaccinated. Well, go ahead. I mean, I understand that. I'm not, debating whether you should come or not. I understand that some people don't want to do it. However, I think from the Thai perspective, I got to look at both sides. Their perspective is they're going to gain many people because they're waiving this quarantine, and a lot of countries still have the quarantine. I'm not saying it's a great deal. It doesn't mean I'm going to start traveling internationally because I don't want to have to go through all the hassle. Even if I'm not quarantining. Listen, we just got back from Hua Hin, and when we went into the hotel, the first thing they did is say, we need your vaccination papers. That was the very first thing. And then it was, let me see your phone. You can scan this QR code with that we're going to give you with your phone. Well, Longhorns didn't have a phone. So that was a bit of a hassle for him. He did have his paperwork, though. And they just scanned that, and that worked. But imagine if they've only got one test. And I just think at this point, it's still going to be, there's a huge difference between have you been vaccinated against an illness and are you Jewish? There's a big difference. So don't even compare that. That's ridiculous. Okay, really, think about that. I understand both are authoritarian mandates, but there's a difference between, you're coming from a place that, or you are born as a Jew, you are raised as a Jew, so you must show the papers, and have you been vaccinated yet? I dare say that many people don't have a problem with being vaccinated. Therefore, it is a bit different. That's one thing, is that they're opening up. Now, the bigger news, in my opinion, is that, and this is going to be good for domestic tourism, is that December 1st, they are considering lifting the ban of alcohol at restaurants and bars. So if that happens, there will be a lot more domestic tourism. Now, you might see a spike in the numbers. I don't know. Why would it matter if you're already vaccinated? See, again, I think this is faulty logic. Where does the line get drawn? Oh, the mandates and requests. What, do you think they don't have other mandates? They do. And I'm not saying that governments around the world don't have too much power. They damn sure do. But what I am saying is, you can't use the logic that, where are they going to draw the line now? Well, they haven't drawn the line before. And if they go too far, I dare say that people they're gonna revolt, at least in some countries. And they already have. So, But like I said, the bigger news is that you might be able to buy booze. You might be able to buy booze. That is the bigger news and the bigger deal. Because, listen, there was several times that we were out the other day, and no beer. We couldn't even have a beer. We couldn't have a beer with dinner. Not that I drink a whole lot, but it's just the point. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Is this what I'm going to get all day? I'm going to get all this shit about this? Listen, I'm not debating that there might be some, there might be some issues with the way that things are calculated. I've known this for a long time. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, you don't have the power. As much as you think you do, you don't. The only power you have at this point is to say, no, I'm not going to get vaccinated. If that's what you want, go ahead. Don't get vaccinated. It's up to you. But if you are on your deathbed, you might think differently, and obviously that's happened several times. I think for the most part, it's the people in high-risk groups that really have to worry. Everybody else, the highest percentage of people that are dying are the elderly, and those with pre-existing conditions. And so I do think that the percentage of people who actually die from this is very small. I'm just saying, I'm not about to fight the freaking government. I don't know about you. You want to fight it, go ahead. But good luck with that. You know, I mean, band together in the U.S. and do your marches and do all these other, go for it. I don't say that I agree with everything that's taken place there. Quite frankly, I'm at the point now. I'm an American in Bangkok, but again, when it comes to the United States, I don't live there. I haven't lived there in almost 30 years. I really, at this point, I don't have the energy. I have zero fucks left to give. I care for my friends and family, and that's it. Past that, what goes on there, it's a shame. You know, it's not the same place as where I was born and raised, but that's life. And I'm not going to continue to think about it. Which is why it was nice to get out of Bangkok and, you know, go somewhere different. And while checking in was a little bit of a, you know, you had to fill out a form. It's like going to the dentist. You gotta fill out the paperwork. You don't really want to do it. It only took me like 2 minutes. And that was it. Other than that, there was really no issue at all. I mean, I was walking around in the town. There were many places, that Longhorns and I, no mask, nothing. So you can't complain, because here, you know, as I said the other day, it's quite a bit better than what's going on in the United States and many other countries. Now, supposedly Australia and Thailand are supposed to pair up, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I believe that starts in December. I didn't have a chance to read in depth on that, but so Soy Dog Cowboy, you may come over here whenever you feel like it. All you have to do is come up with the certificate of entry and the insurance. I don't think they're ever going to do away with mandatory insurance. I think they will lower the figure, but they're not going to do away with the insurance. And if you're going to have insurance, you need to have it for everybody. And which brings me to the next point, which I did not see anything in this article. Now, I did a quick read of this. I just browsed through it. But I'm going to read it. And it has to do with that 500 baht proposal, which is still prompting some debate. All right, let me get into this here. This is from Nikkei Asia. I believe you need insurance no matter what. And you know that visa on arrival is not really a visa on arrival. It's just a no visa entry. But I don't know. I should, you know, this is the thing. Even for me, I hear about this stuff all the time, but it's crazy what's necessary. And I think Longhorns, I thought he got insurance when he came here, but it wasn't for the entire, it wasn't for as long as he's been here now, because he wasn't sure how long he was going to be here. It's a little bit confusing. Imagine some little old lady who lives in Memphis, Tennessee, who never traveled in her life, and her daughter said, "Come to Thailand with me. We'll catch up." You know, it's going to be like, I can tell you, like, my family, my parents would not want to come over here now. And I always look to them because they've traveled a fair bit. And they're just like, why? Why would we do that? Good luck with that, Soy Dog Cowboy. Chuck called the embassy the other day, and they had no clue about what he was talking about. They didn't even know. They were like, no, as far as we know, you still need a quarantine. And that was only a couple days ago. So I guess until it goes on the Royal Gazette, until it is finalized, they don't know what's going on. You know, they may know through hearsay or something, but they're not going to release it to the public. Anyway, this is about the $15, it's 500 baht, tax on foreigners. And I'm just going to read this a little bit here. Let me see. Thailand's plan to impose 500 baht tax on each incoming international visitor. It's very vague about, okay, who is it going to be an international person who is an expat, or is it going to be an international tourist? Is it going to be a migrant worker? Possibly starting 2022, has the tourism industry concerned about possibly reducing the number of tourists as the country prepares to further reopen its borders amid the COVID-19 pandemic? The fee to be implemented is considerably high for those visiting Thailand, where hotel rooms can be had for as little as 1,000 baht. Thai Hotels Association President Marissa Sukason Nunbakdi said in a recent interview with Nikkei Asia, the 500 baht will affect potential visitors' decisions. I don't think it's going to I don't think it's going to affect people's decision because they think it's too much money. I think what it is they're going to go, these bastards are always out for our money. It's too much. It's one thing too many. However, what I find kind of hilarious is that this is a lady who is the president of the Hotel Association, and she's saying, hotels can be had for as little as 1,000 baht. No, not 1,000 baht. They can be had for as little as like 250 baht. Come on. I've stayed at some nice hotels that were 600 baht or so. So she's trying to make it sound like, oh wow, it's cheap, but it's not that cheap. Well, this is a problem with Thailand, and I've known this ever since I got here, is it will nickel and dime you to death. You think things aren't that expensive, and then it's like, oh, we charge you for the ice. You know, that kind of thing. I got charged for air conditioning once. It was a long time ago. That was about 20 years ago. Right by Rajdamnern Stadium, there used to be, I don't know if it's still there, I'm sure it is. It's a barbecue joint. Go in there, I sit down, they turn the air on, the next thing I know, I get the bill, I go, what's this? My wife was with me, and they're like, well, you get charged for the ice, for both of your drinks, and also you get charged for the air conditioning. I'm like, charged for the air conditioning? You gotta be kidding me. You know. So yeah, they do tend to nickel and dime you. The proposed tax was raised from 300 baht that was originally approved by the National Tourism Policy Committee earlier this year. The Center for Economic Situation Administration. I hate that name now. Well, this is the CESA. I think I'm thinking of the CSSA. I wish they would get rid of this emergency decree and give at least a glimmer of hope that this place will start to look somewhat free again, because nobody likes being shackled, so to speak. That's a figure of speech. Well, some people might like it, I guess. I don't know. The government's policy making body for economic issues approved the 200 baht increase from 300 baht early this month, but it will still need cabinet approval to be put into force. The new tax is separate from a departure tax that has already been levied for decades on ongoing travelers, designated a passenger service charge. According to the Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand, now I didn't know this, the departure tax varies from 400 baht to 700 baht depending on which airport passengers depart from. Travelers must pay 700 baht to leave Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi Airport, the country's main international getaway. 2019, 39.9 million tourists spent 1.91 trillion baht in Thailand. They stayed in the country an average of 9.3 days. Well, that's been, I don't know, JRD. I mean, how long have you been coming to Thailand, JRD, or have you been to Thailand? I'm curious to know. Well, it's a departure tax, but they designated it passenger. It's a service charge for departing from an airport. It basically helps fund the airport to help run the airport. But what I'm wondering is, you've been coming here for 16 years. I don't know how long JRD's been coming here, but it's been in place that whole time. It's not like it's something new. You just don't know about it because it's in the ticket. What was the year that it changed? 2000? Was it 2007? Where they started sticking it in the ticket? I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I think that's what it was. But there you go. You don't have a if you got a problem with the price of the airline ticket, you still end up coming. If you pay for it, you don't have that much of a problem. That's my point. The average tourist is here for an average of 9.3 days, and they spend about 5,172 baht a day. So off the top of my head, I'm just going to say around 150 bucks. The tax could crimp money flowing into the tourism sector. Somehow I find that hard to believe. That 500 baht, I mean, listen, I'm not one who likes to pay for all these little, I don't like to be nickel and dimed any more than anybody else does. And it's not like I'm sitting on a pile of money. But 500 baht is peanuts. And if they do something with it, then great. If they don't do anything with it and you still see, here's the thing. There's no reason that foreigners have to be picking up garbage off the beach. They should have the money for this. And where I don't see anything in here about the insurance for the foreigners. Nothing. What happened to that? There was the whole reason they brought it up was because of the insurance for foreigners and how they lost like 500 billion baht a year or million baht. I don't remember what it was. It was either one or the other. I think it was 500 million. There you go, Gennaro. She's a hard worker. So you should be happy about that, Gennaro. Yes, Gennaro. She's waving. See? She's so happy. Wait. ตอนนี้65 อ้วนมาก โอ้ย ต้องมั่นใจนะ มั่นใจไหม ตอนนี้น้ำหนักเท่าไหร่55แต่อยู่ไหน มีกำเนื้อไม่ได้ออกกำลังกายกินเจอยู่ที่นี่อยู่ก้นนะบาร์เบียร์อันนั้นเขาบอกอะไรบาร์เบียร์เบียร์บาร์เบียร์ไม่บ้าน้ำหนักแต่อยู่ที่ไหนน้ำหนักอยู่ที่ไหนโนไม่อยากจะดูอยู่ที่นี่ It's all in her ass. She's a big ass. That's the name of a Thai group. ผมพูดเกี่ยวกับนักร้องเป็น big ass. Well, I don't know how she weighs 55 kilos because she doesn't look like she weighs all that much. All right, let's see here. Oh, thank you, Tony. Appreciate the update. Any good news is very welcome. Well, you know, I don't want to be negative about this because, you know, it is moving in the right direction. And I think that's important. The 800K, you know, was initially justified as a requirement for medical emergencies. Yeah, well, actually it wasn't 800K because when it started, I believe it was 200K. So I'm going to have to look at that and see, is that the real reason why? Oops. I believe it's that you can show that you have the funds to be able to stay here. Now, they may have raised it and said, well, that's going to be so that you have money to cover. But then, you know, the problem is, okay, so if you have 800,000 and you go into the hospital and that's 650,000, now you got 150,000 left. What if you're somebody who's retired, you're living on a pension, you don't have another 650,000? So now, instead of going, say, to, well, I don't know, I guess you could go to the public hospital and pay less and, you know, come up with the additional money, but I don't get where they think that. Because what if you're retired and you and your wife have a house and, you know, I guess, oh, well, it goes to the wife because it's in her name. It just, the way that they have it set up, it's definitely not, it doesn't benefit the foreigner. And one thing that I've said before here is there is a phrase that this old Thai Chinese guy, and he's a very, very smart guy, been around the world, very, very, just very intelligent, very sharp, and he's a Thai Chinese guy. And he told me, he said, smart Thai people are always looking for the advantage, Thai Priya. Now, that's no different than anywhere else, but they actually have the phrase in Thai. And so I think that they set about always having the advantage over the people who come to their country. I've told the story before, but when we had boxers fighting here in Thailand, or when boxers fight here in Thailand, it was fairly well known, depending on, you know, who the fighter was and everything, but it was very well known that, well, if you're in Thailand, he might win a decision, but if he goes outside of Thailand, he's going to lose. So what does that tell you? They know they have the advantage by fighting at home. I mean, which is fairly normal, but you would hope that it's not. You wouldn't just get a hometown decision, you know, and it happens, but you really hope that you're going to get a fair decision. Yeah, but John, all that can be taken care of, man. Believe me, it can be taken care of. And I know because I've done it. You know. Is that SM for Scott Mallon or SM for Stephen Monash? Oh, there he is. I didn't see that he came in here. What day? What day? Man, this place is absolutely dead, and it's 9:35. If I was at Sarni's right now, Sarni's would be jam-packed. Now, I got some things coming up this week and next week. We're trying to figure out, do we want to go anywhere? Do we not want to go anywhere? And I'm talking about we as in Longhorns and myself. But we may go to Icon Siam, may go to Chatuchak to see how that's rebounding, see what's happening there now. I may go to Fashion Island by myself. I don't know. I need to see what they have there. Or I might go to the, what's the name of that place? M. Courtier. There's some stuff I'm looking for, and it needs to be in a. Make sure that they ice it, Gennaro, really well. They ice the milk, because that made a big difference. If you just have cold milk, and Longhorns was explaining this, but I do believe it's true, is if you have the milk, and like in the other day, the lady got the milk in a glass, she put it in a little plastic container that had ice in it, and then she went and she put it in the freezer for like 5 minutes. So it got really, really cold, and then she came back and put the espresso in it, and what it does is it makes the espresso linger in the milk. It doesn't just sink. I think this is Beer's boyfriend coming in. Either that or friend or whatever, something, I don't know. Good morning everybody, Sawadee Kap. So I'm a little bit, supposedly the numbers are going up right now, not down. They're going back up. And that's why I'm still really, well, he may be, Gennaro, but if he's getting in there and you're not, what does that say? Yeah, you know, Andy, I would not even, for me, I would not even want to think about doing a lot of traveling. I mean, just going to Hua Hin, it was like, oh, Gennaro, I hate to break it to you, but I'm not the first person who has made note of it. There are several foreigners here who know what's going on with them, or who think they know. Don't be surprised, Gennaro. Don't be hurt. It's okay. You know, he's here, you're not. Of course, when you come here, hey, that could be a different story. She could fall madly in like or lust or love with your Gennaro charm, with the Italian suaveness. I don't know. I have no idea. But I know that certain times of the day or evening, he has been he's been the one who's been here at closing. How does a vaxxed Farang go from Bangkok to Udon? Oh, Gennaro, that's horrible, man. I believe Udon, there's no restrictions. So you can fly there, you can take a train, you can drive. Last I looked, there were no restrictions there. Just be vaxxed and you can go. Here she thought that Gennaro was her man, and he goes talking about some guy behind her back. They might just be friends, who knows? I have no idea, all right? I really don't know. I'm not sure. But the word is from some of my pals here that why would you be in a hospital prison? Good luck on that. You don't need to be in a hospital prison, man. He might be, I don't know. If you're here long enough, Gennaro, and you go, that's why, you know, think about something. When you go to a place all the time and then you start seeing certain people with certain other people at this all the time. Maybe it's not her brother. I gotta say that Longhorns is constantly sending me stuff on TikTok. I tell him, I don't want TikTok. I don't like TikTok. He sent me something today. And I took a look at it. And I thought, you know what? TikTok is the most downloaded app in the United States. Something like 45 million downloads. So I go and I check it out. I download it. I looked for about 3 minutes and I went, I gotta take this off my phone. It's just too irritating. All the girls trying to lip sync and it's just, I'm an old man. I'm an old man. Well, Gennaro, I'll tell you what. There's a lot more there than there is here. Sarni's is a nice place. This place, they're technically on the same. Everything's priced around the same, so it's like a boutique. Theirs is like kind of like a boutique coffee shop. But honestly, the food is better there, and the coffee's better. Not only that, there's always a lot of people there. And for you, Gennaro, that could mean, you go there and you, on a regular basis, you meet up with some people. Hey, how you doing? Where you come from? My name's Gennaro. And then before you know it, you got yourself a little friend. Anyway, I'm curious to know how many people, and if you're not going to leave a message in the chat, then do so in the comments below, please. I'm curious to know how many people are going to come here if you don't have to quarantine, but you still have to go through all the rigmarole of the certificate of entry and insurance. If you're coming here as a tourist, the insurance is not all that much. You come here for 2-3 weeks, let's say a month. A month might be $110. It's not that bad. That wouldn't prohibit me from going to a country. Listen, I've been wanting and thinking and trying to figure out how to go to the Central Africa, whether it's Central African Republic, the Congo, Burundi, and all of those places. Their visa is like $350. And maybe if Thailand really wants to be a higher end destination, there's no required hotel stay, and I believe they're going to have to do a test before they leave and then when they arrive. So 2 tests. But if you're getting one at home, you're not going to be paying the same price here. I'll come if no quarantine. I mean, some people have insurance that already meets that criteria, and they don't have to worry about it. The certificate of entry is a bit more of a pain in the neck, but it can all be taken care of. Patia Bob, there you go. Possibly. Road trip. Time for many trips. Well, I mean, think about something. In the last year, maybe a year and a month or two, like maybe 14 months. I've been to Hua Hin, been to Ayutthaya, I've been to Nong Khai, Bung Khan, Nakhon Phanom, Krabi, Railay, Phuket, and Khao Lak. So it really had, I mean, you know, listen, I don't go all the time. It takes time and money and timing and all these other things to be able to pull off a trip. And of course, the approval of my wife. She wants to go somewhere. And for us, the biggest issue is always timing. It's just timing. Well, I gotta tell you, you know, I don't get the same joy out of it that I used to get. It used to be, you know, I was very, very excited. And I was happy to get out of Bangkok the other day. Well, yeah, but Bob, you're not gonna, you didn't want to drive that long. I think Longhorns is going to be gone by the time your girl gets her license. But the point is that, you know, like the more I traveled, I mean, you know, there's a point of diminishing return. And, you know, and that's where I'm at now. I do believe that. I mean, you know, listen, the trip was nice. And it was very relaxing, but it was too damn short, to be honest. I could have sat there and looked at the beach for days. So we have to figure out what we're gonna do. And it'll come about. It'll come about. I got some videos going up. Some of them are just walking around. I am gonna do, I think, 2 hotel reviews. And one of the Hilton, one of Longhorn's place, which is a good deal. And I got some walk-in videos, and I don't know what else I got, but I got 4 or 5 videos. And I believe there'll be like one going up at no later than tomorrow. They're already up. I just have to figure out which one I want to put up first. You know, release, put public, whatever. So. Yeah, that's the issue, is you got that extra hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't know who that is, Gennaro. Quite frankly, you know, I like the big fights now, but I don't want to follow the whole thing. You know, I already watched the fight, the Wilder Fury fight, great fight. But, you know, now I'm like, okay, so now what's next? I don't want to watch Jake Paul fight. And I'm just not into it as much as I used to be. I just don't care about it, you know? When I was young and I was involved in it and I was doing it, that would be, you're gone. YouTube official. Who is he to tell anybody what to do on my channel? No, we drove back. Patty and Bob drove back. It said, Gennaro, please refrain from spamming. No, we drove there and drove back. We did not take the train. One thing that YouTube has taught me, and a few of the people that I've met in person have taught me, is there's a lot of douchebags and losers on YouTube. Guys who have no integrity, no class, nothing to do with their lives. And it's sad, but you know, frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. It doesn't, again, I've been saying this for a while now. The older I get, the less I give a shit about things. You know, there's not enough time. Really, life is too short, you know. Imagine on TikTok, Jesus criminy, I can only imagine. I took one look at TikTok and got rid of it. And you know, the other thing I was thinking is, what kind of girl is a young guy? I'm talking about if you're 20 something, like young 20s, like my kid. What kind of girl are you gonna get that's, you know, 19, 20 years old? Is she gonna be looking at the phone all the time? Well, that doesn't surprise me at all. Chinaro, is that all you think about? Is that all you think about is the hotties? You remind me of me when I was about 20, 22. It was all I did. I'd ride my motorcycle around just thinking, how many numbers can I get? How many can I have on the line at one time? But mostly, okay. YouTube wants their hottie cut. Well, they're not going to get, how much of a cut are they going to get? I got $5 on here right now. Of that, I get $3.50. Isn't that $1.50 enough for what I've shown to YouTube? The bastards, all they, you know. You get $300 and out of that you keep, what do they take? They take $90. So the $90 is a hottie fee. That's what we're gonna call it, a hottie fee. Pretty much. That's about right. How many? Yeah, see, this is the thing. Oh, that's nice to know, Gordon. 27 years. Wow. Congratulations. Paid to be YouTube fact checkers. In every major city in the world, there are people getting paid to be YouTube fact checkers. You know, listen, YouTube it's a love-hate thing. And, I Wait, ไม่มีเสียวันนี้ไม่มีเสียผมก็ไม่มีสีเมื่อก่อนก็สีเขียวนิดหน่อยไม่มีสีม่วงอ่ะ Said, what happened to the hair? Your hair, it's not colored anymore. She had the green hair going on the other day. I said, when are you going to have it purple? It's another thing. I gotta be getting. I'm just not with the generation, I think. And what's funny is Longhorns was telling me some things the other day about here and also about back in the States, and I'm like, he's only like 10 years younger than me, and I'm like, son of a bitch, did it change that much? Has it changed that much? I guess it has. I'll be some guy on YouTube. I'll be 70 years old. I know like 5-10 years ago there were some people writing that I'm a dinosaur. it's good. You know, why get married if you're not gonna stay together? That's my. I know nobody really sets out to do that, but I know plenty of people who they get married and they're like, I don't know about this, but you know, hey, she really wants to, and then they do it, and they're not sure about it, and it's a mistake. I'd say if you got big drama, or you see signs of big craziness in the very beginning, don't get serious. Start heading to the door. Theta? I never heard of it. There's all kinds of them already, man. There you go, Monash. You know, the thing is I'm not as poor as I used to be, but because I got kids, I don't spend as much on myself as I used to. You're looking at what I spend it on. This is what I do. I spend money on coffee. Although I admit that I was telling this to Longhorns. No, she's not here yet, Gennaro. I need to do a little bit of an old man upgrade on my wardrobe because I've got like 100 t-shirts and I haven't worn my collar shirts for so long that probably half of them are either out of style or the moths have eaten them. I mean, really, like for what I do here and where I go, I'm in a pair of shorts and flip-flops and a t-shirt most of the time, you know? Why should I go get a Thai massage? Why should I do that? I was gonna get a foot massage the other day and I didn't get one. So I may get one in the near future, but not right now. And I don't want a Thai massage. No need. Banned for a week because a lot of people flagged him, especially supporting the other side of politics. This is what I mean. Listen, the donations are up and down. You know, they're up and down more than some chick that works in the Rainbow Bar in Nana Plaza. That's the way it is. You know, last week or a couple of weeks ago, they had all this kind of old country kind of stuff on, and it was pretty good. Old country blues. It was pretty good. I don't know what they're playing now. I think they enjoy giving a good massage, and Thai massages can generally be very strong. You know, you get some woman who's 50 or 60 years old, and her hands are like, they look like thick sausages. She's gonna put a hurting on you, but after a day or two, you're gonna feel much better. We used to have the girls from. We used to have I say girls. They were older women from this temple down the street that would come in and massage the boxers, and every once in a while, we being the foreigners who were in the group would get massages as well. And the Thai guys, these are Muay Thai fighters. They're sore, they're injured, and the ladies would give them massages. The guys would scream, man. The ladies would just punish them, But then they would feel much better, and that's what happened with us. We had a sauna and everything. It was a good deal, man. We'd go and relax afterwards. Oh, Carlos, I was wondering how you're doing. How's it going? You hear the good news? I don't know if Willie was on. I haven't heard any Willie. Maybe some Merle Haggard. I'm not a huge country fan. Going quiet, making plans to return to Pattaya. Well, you'll be back, and then, not that there's no drinking allowed as it is. There are various places where, you know how it is. It's like, don't say anything. We put beer inside Coca-Cola can. That kind of thing. Here we go. Now they're opening up. Yeah, good deal, man. Longhorns and I were talking about going out there, but he's only going to be here for another month. So, but we should be able to swing it. The last time I went there was about 8 of us that were there. I don't know if it was Pattaya Bob there the last time. I know the 2 brothers were there. Niall was there. I was there. One of my buddies was there. I'm trying to think of all the people that were there. We had a little Starbucks meetup. Anyway. If you guys want to help out the channel and you want to get a little something back for it, you could consider buying one of my books or buying a shirt. There's links down below in the descriptions for everything. I do have 1 or 2 new shirts in there, and there is a shirt that I'm working on right now. I just have to figure out what I want the final. I just have to give the whole final go-ahead on it. But I've been working on it for a while, and I think I've pretty much got an idea of what it needs to be. So I need to get it done, the artwork done, and then I'll put it up. For my birthday, I'm gonna have a cupcake. Because of the curfew, I really don't want to have a dinner, and also because of traffic, I really don't want to have a big dinner or anything like that. And I just don't really care. Now, my 60th one, that might be a little different. If I make it to 60, then, maybe that warrants a party. But, listen, a nice sandwich or something for lunch, a cupcake. Happy birthday to me. That's fine. All right, so they got another guy just came in here, staff. I don't know if he works here or what the deal is. For the Gennaro Hadi Fund. Thank you very much, Mr. Manaj. And Gennaro thanks you. A cupcake and a foot massage. Well, I'll get a little more than that probably, but I could use a foot massage and a hand massage. My hands are thrashed, man. You're always in pain. You know, I used to get you a Sloppy Joe pizza pie. Sounds all right. I used to go to the Waitangi Hospital down there and dip my hands in wax, in hot wax, and then it was liquid wax, and they would put plastic over my hands, and then the heat would make me feel better, and then they would take it off and they'd, peel it all off. But it got to be a little bit too expensive. Now I have one of these little plastic things where you put your hand in it and there's wax in it, but it's a little more messy. It's a little messier, and I'm out of wax, so I haven't done it in quite some time, but my hands are just not in good shape. They have the arthritis. I got the arthritis. I haven't heard anything about the curfew ending, although if they're going to open up the bars and they're going to allow drinking, I would say that they're going to lift the quarantine. That's my own opinion. We can have our 60th together and mull over the last 120 years. Thanks a lot for making me feel even older, Mr. Manaj. It's only since the gallbladder surgery that I had, which has been about a little more than 3 years now, did I notice a big difference in my age, in the way I feel. Before that, I had my days and everything. Now it's like almost every day I feel like beat up. I can't do what I used to do. Longhorns and I talked about going back to the Prairie here, but this time on the Thai side. And that's like 2,500 steps and some change. And while we did it, and it was all right. It was a bit of work. But now I don't know about him. I'm sure he can do it, but for me, I could do it, but man, I have to push myself a bit. It would be a little bit harder than it was before. If you were single with no commitments, what would you do or where would you go? I don't know. Where would I go? To a beach. Probably to a beach. Somewhere on a beach. What would I do? It'd be a different lifestyle. The beach lifestyle is much different than, obviously, than, in the center of Bangkok. Well, I'd like to go to Africa, whether I'm with my wife or not. I want to go to Africa. Makes no difference, that's the thing. But it's not like I want to go run over there right now. Thing is, with going to Africa, is it's a considerable amount of money. To go there, to stay there, no, I wouldn't be a nomad. I don't want to be a nomad. I'm not a nomad. That's the thing. I've always been the kind of person who likes to base somewhere and then travel when I feel like it and hang out at home or wherever when I feel like it. Anywhere near the beach would be good. And I could do that with my wife. And there's no reason why I couldn't do it. But right now we got our kids, so you know. Central African Republic. Central African Republic, the Congo, the DRC, and Burundi. Those are the ones that really, now, I would get excited to go to those places. That would excite me. That would be, yeah, that would be an experience. What is, I don't know what TTS. It's not about just about the pygmies. I don't know. You're talking about the TTS. No, for $10,000 you can barely get over there and stay there for 3 weeks. Well, for 10 grand you can, but it depends on where you are. If you're going to stay in the Congo, you're going to pay a fair amount to stay somewhere safe. Text to speech. I don't know how that works onto my mobile phone. I don't know. I know about it. I've heard the one guy. There was one kid I used to watch all the time. He would sleep, and then people would. He'd be streaming the whole night, and he would have some, you know, like air raid sirens come on and stuff like that. But in order for them to do that, they had to pay. And I don't use the Streamlabs or anything like that because I need to get, because I'm using my mobile phone most of the time. An American on Kilimanjaro. Now I would do that. In fact, I would like to go. I would like to do that. That would be nice. And I'm sure that that's possible. I mean, you know, it's a bit safer than like going to the Congo or Burundi, where like they're lucky if they have electricity. But that's the last big adventure. That would be the last big adventure for me, I think. You know, like, I've been to some gnarly places. I've done some cool things. But that would be something that I would really get into. And actually, when we were in Hua Hin, I did bring up the subject with Longhorns when he comes back, that maybe we go down a river in a raft. You know, I have some people that I know. They're all fighters, and I do know a couple of very well-known fixers there. But I also know some people that their families live there, and you know, they're good people. So I mean, maybe I could get away with just, you know, meeting up with them or whatever. But you know, I don't want to run a country. Who the hell wants to be in charge of a whole country? No, thank you. No wonder they get the people they get to you know. South Korea and Taiwan. South Korea been there, Taiwan been there. I mean, I still want to go to the Masai Mara. I still want to go do a little walk around in parts of Africa. I forget where these guys, there were 2 guys that I would like to go with. You know, all that takes money and time and the right timing, but, you know, Well, it costs him next to nothing because he's willing to live a particular way, which, you know, you can live for less here. I mean, you know, you want to live in a little one little room that just has a bed. There's no bathroom in it. Everybody shares the room. You can get a place here for $50 a month, you know. I've seen some of his stuff, and I would say, you know, he's adventurous and interesting, but, you know, I don't know what he's doing now. And Togo is one of the more mellow places, you know. Sabbatical, you're gonna try through Africa alone. Wow. Oh, I'll have to look at that. Thanks. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. See that I will look at stuff like that, you know. Have street food increased in the past 2 years? Yes. It depends on where and for what food, but they've increased a little bit over the, I don't know about 2 years, but the last couple of years they've gone up. I mean, you know, just the places that were across the street from my house. Well, the one lady, she went up from 40 baht to 50 baht. And then I always would get the piece-ed, which is the large, extra large, and it would be 60 baht. Prices are definitely rising here. They, you know, they're going up everywhere, but this place used to be a value, and that's where I think they're gonna have problems with this whole thing of you know, upgrading and getting Thailand to be a place where they get all these ISO or upscale tourists. I think if you look at the tourists that they have, they ought to be damn glad that they're getting the ones that they get. And I'm talking about whether it's now or before the virus. I think they should be damn glad that they're still getting some backpackers, they're getting some lower end tourists. And what's Blue Origin? If it's back to the United States, I'm not going. I'm not going to the United States yet. As long as Thailand is the way it is, I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to leave and have to go pay their insurance. I have insurance, you know. I don't want to have to go through the certificate of entry. That's why I don't leave. I think they had tickets to Kenya, to Nairobi, and it was anywhere from $1,000 to $1,300 round trip. But that was a little while ago. Starting to get some more people in here now. $300 for 5. That's $300. Do you mean 300 baht? They're not charging $300. Would you consider in and around Hua Hin to be a good area to live? Yeah, I would. It's a nice place. You know, if you're around the tourist areas, then I would say get away from those a little bit. I have a hard time believing that. And anyway, if you're that stupid to pay that much, you deserve to be scammed. Because Longhorns and I were walking down right in front of the Hilton, and it was something like 60 baht per kilo. 60 baht. And that's right in front of the Hilton. So I understand it's a little bit of a task to walk across the street and to pay $2 for a kilo, and you have 3 kilos. But I can tell you that, like, you know, my wife does the wash, and I've noticed, you know, I used to use the lady down the street. And the thing is that I would pay like every 2 weeks, maybe like $10, $9, and I get all my laundry washed and pressed. And it came out smelling great. I didn't have to bug my kids to hang my clothes up, to fold my clothes, or I wouldn't have to fold them. To me, that's a deal, okay? That's a deal. Well, $300 would pay for your hotel for a month in Chiang Mai. It would pay for a month in many other places, but you damn sure don't need to be paying that much, and somebody who pays that isn't the brightest person if that's what they're paying, because usually you can go right down the street or right around the corner or whatever, and you'll pay a fraction of that. In fact, I don't think I've ever paid more than $20 for a big load of laundry, even in a hotel. So, you know, if you're looking to get scammed, you will. $300? Come on. There's a rule right there for you. Thank you for bringing that up. Don't pay. Check your price before you send your laundry off, because you have no reason in hell to pay $300 for 5 kilos of laundry. Well, maybe he did. I don't know. But this is the thing. It doesn't come across that way. We're not chatting face to face. I usually spend 3 months. Yeah. How old are you? That was one of the places we're thinking of going, is Pai. Okay, I got you. Because if I'm gonna go to Pai, I don't wanna go to Pai when there's tourists. It's just not going to happen. Well, now's the time to go. Go before all the tourists come. I like Koh Chang in the south, not the east. I prefer the one in the south, and it's quite inexpensive there. I mean, very inexpensive, beautiful beaches. Andy, I'm going to do a little video on the place where Longhorns is staying. I do believe the prices are going to start going back up real soon, but I think he's paying about 900 baht a day, and he's got a huge, very big room with a kitchen and also a big bedroom. I've been there, but it's been a while. And I mean, it's I would say, I mean, from the looks of it, to me, it's a 4-star. It's quite nice. and I think he said the price was down. Well, the price was down from something like 2,700 a night, 2,700 baht, and now it's like 900. But it's a nice place, very nice. You send me a message, or if I can, I'll send you a message through the buy me a coffee thing, and I'll send you a message and I'll tell you the name of it, and I'll find out from him how much he's paying and all that kind of stuff. I think he was paying even less than that, a little bit less. Oh, Washington Square. Why would you want to stay there? Just because of the location? There's so many places to stay now, and one of the things that is important is to stay around, places where there's good transportation. Oh God, those places haven't been, worth the, they haven't been worth the shit for a while. I mean, that place has been dead for more than 8 years. And most of the people that went there, I'd say a high percentage of them were a little bit older than you, or quite a bit older than you, Gennaro. It's the thing, there's plenty of places to stay. Narati Wat. I've wanted to go there. Yeah, well, Dean Barrett is a dinosaur, man. I mean, really. Or I'm thinking of Bernard Trink. Sorry, Dean Barrett. Although Dean Barrett is a bit of a dinosaur as well. Yeah, but Gennaro, that place hasn't been kicking for 15 years, man. I mean, it just hasn't been the same. I mean, it's, where like older guys go and they hang out and they all shoot the shit and talk about the good old days and get drunk, which I guess that's what I do now if I go out and go drinking. You think Nana doesn't have a story? You think Pat Pong doesn't have a story? Or Soy Cowboy doesn't have a story? They all got stories, man. At this point, they all have stories. If those walls talked. For every girl that has danced on a pole, for every 100 girls, there's probably 20 guys who have rubbed their twig and berries on that same pole. Yeah, it's not like it used to be, man. It's definitely not like it used to be. I mean, I don't want to start the whole remember when in my day and all that kind of stuff. All that matters. Yes, Buckskin Joe's Soy Zero. I think it was Buckskin Joe's Village. I think that Buckskin Joe's Village. I think that's what it was called. I need another coffee. Definitely. falling asleep here. I need a coffee. Go. Gotta wake up, man. Oh, somebody just thank you to whoever just kicked down. I was gonna say Gennaro. I'll tell you what, Gennaro. You could make that pretty easily. The dirty coffee. And thank you, by the way. You could make that very easily at home. And it is very, very good. But I think the difference, and Longhorns noted the difference at that place that we went. And the difference is that they get the milk much, much colder. They get it to where it's a little bit thicker so that it holds the espresso in it. And for the life of me, I don't know how they do it or what they did, but that little place in Hua Hin that we went was every bit as good as Sarni's, and Sarni's is very, very good. But it was, I think Sarni's had more of more items to choose from, more of a variety. But theirs was very, very good. All their coffee was fantastic. All right, here we go. Thank you, John. Choke day. And it was just this lady who her brother wanted to drink coffee, and so they looked into opening a coffee shop, and they opened it up. This espresso, double espresso, which is very hot right now, 105 baht. Up from 75 baht when I first started buying them here. So 105 baht's about $3 and some change, $3.25, something like that, $3.20. The girl was looking at me to see, does he like the espresso? Just woke. What's the big news? Hey Joe, how you going? The big news is that December 1st they're going to start considering, for what that means. They're going to start considering opening up, allowing the serving of alcohol in bars and restaurants, which means the bars will be open. But also I don't know, but this is as big a news as what they said before, because now they're only saying they're going to allow 10. They're going to allow 10 people from 10 countries to. Let me focus here. They're going to allow people from 10 countries, and they only named off 5, which are the UK, US, Singapore, China, and Germany. They're going to allow those people to come in without quarantine, which is, listen, no quarantine is better than 7 to 10 days. But still, they still require the certificate of entry and insurance. However, if you come over at the right time and you say, I want to come over in December, who knows if they'll continue with that or what they're going to do. But at least you'll be able to drink beer or wine or whatever you want to drink, spirits. All I've stayed at more than 10 different red planets and they're the best value in every country. They're in clean 50-inch TVs with 500 channels. I don't give a shit about what's on TV, to be honest. But everything else sounds good. Fridge, Wi-Fi, power shop. They are Thai chain. The big news is that no quarantine required for Americans, Brits, starting November 1st. No quarantines required. United States, UK, Germany, China, and Singapore. However, they haven't said the other 5 countries, and I guess that means that all the other countries still have to quarantine. So, yeah, it's big news because it's a step in the right direction, but that's about it. Right now, Thailand is operating on the 3 steps forward, 2 steps back mode. Gotta get some coffee in me. The big spenders. Yeah, well, I mean, come on. If you're coming for let's say you're coming for a month, it's gonna cost you $100, $120 for the insurance, which you should have anyway. And you're gonna have to do the certificate of entry, and you're gonna have to take the tests. So that will cost a little bit. But all in all, it's not that much money. If you're coming for a month, it's not that bad. You know, the big boss is here now. Well, they did say, Andy, I just saw an article, but I couldn't get into it. I didn't have the time. I was pressed for time this morning. But I did see that there's something in the works between Australia and the Thai government where they make some kind of a pipeline back and forth. Certain areas are allowed in. So I'm going to look into it after the stream. But, you know, just keep up with it for the next couple of days, and they should have something, hopefully. No, that's not what it means. It means you come in and you take your test, and maybe what they'll do, I don't know if they'll get your results right away or what the deal is, but maybe you have to stay for 1 day. Part of the problem that I always have with the Thai government is they are very vague and unclear and wishy-washy about their rules. So that's you know, they purposely do that. They didn't say one word about, you know, I just was talking about the 500 baht fee that they want to charge for this tourism transformation fund. And originally they brought that out because they said, oh, every tourist is going to be covered for COVID, and they're going to be covered in an emergency situation. They'll have insurance. Now it's 500 baht, and they've completely left out in the last couple of articles that I've read, they have completely just omitted anything about the insurance. So I think they've probably figured out, hey, we're not going to be able to do that. Or somebody just said, no, let's not give them anything. Anyway, now this place is kind of filled up. I would be surprised if they didn't make you stay in a hotel for one day, just until you get the. I don't know. I don't know if they can do an accurate test and in a matter of seconds get the results. Nothing has happened so far. Singapore's supposed to. I mean, everyone WFH. What's that mean? What's WF? I can't keep up with all these things. Yeah, I think you're better just to. You know what? Don't be the first person to come here. That's my recommendation. Don't be the first person to take the vaccine. I said that. Wait to see if everybody starts dropping like flies. And of course they're not. You know, listen, my wife's company has said, work from home, sorry. My wife's company has said they need to go in 1 or 2 times a week to the office. The rest of the time they can work from home. I'm like, hey, that's a pretty good deal, you know? Don't feel bad. The next step is getting my kids to go back to school because then they get a life back, you know? I mean, this place will be here. The only thing I can say is for somebody like me, it's a good time now because there's not that many people around. And you know, how many places did I go? 6, 7, 8 places. I've been to 8 cities in the last, 9, including Bangkok, in the last, say, 13, 14 months. And if I go to another 1 or 2 places, I actually, as much as I'd like to go to Krabi, there's other places that I'd like to go, and I would like to take a train. Not because I don't like driving, but because there's something about taking a train. I find it relaxing. I find it relaxing. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way as I do, but I find it really relaxing to get on a train. You get on at like 8 o'clock at night. You get there at maybe 8 or 9 in the morning. You sleep a little bit on the train. You know, you talk to a few people, you sleep. I can't keep up with all the acronyms, man. I don't know. I did Bangkok to Singapore before. I've done it twice actually, and I did I think it was the last time I did the east side of Malaysia, working from Starbucks. What about WFP? WFB, working from the bar. I'll tell you what. The Vietnam trip that I took was great by train. I went all the way from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh on the train. And then the trip to Singapore was great that I took. And I would say the Malaysian trains were really, really nice. And I went in and I was super hot. If you remember, let me tell you a little story. Since we're at the end of the stream, I crossed over into Malaysia. And the train wasn't coming for a few hours. And I had to use the facilities. And not the kind where you stand up, but the kind where you squat. So I was squatting Scott. The problem was that every single bathroom had water all over the floor. And they were all squat toilets. Now I desperately need to use one of them. I mean, desperately. I was at the point where, I was like in the danger zone. Yeah, I think some of them were like just like there was still shit in them. Some of them were just clogged up and messy, and then there was water all over the floors. And finally I got one that had just a little bit of water on the floor. And I managed to get my shorts and put them like on the, I don't know, some little screw or bolt or something. And then I got like my shirt and I took it off and put it on like the toilet roll thing. So I'm like butt naked. My shoes are sitting there halfway in the water. I do my business. I squat, tiptoeing carefully, using my shoes to not get completely wet in the pissy water. I do my business, everything's better. I feel much, much better. And I go out, and I'm sweating profusely because, it was already very hot. And then once I go in the little room, that's the idea. Once I go into the little room, the little squat toilet room, it's very small. The walls are high up, so there's not much ventilation. I'm dripping in sweat. I just take a dump. I gotta clean my nether regions with my hand. Then I gotta find the soap to wash my hands. And I'm still like a little bit sweaty. Well, I am sweaty. I'm still sweating profusely. Hey, I had to take it off in there. I was just dripping in sweat. And I'm thinking, man, I know I look like shit, but I was traveling. I was like, I don't care, whatever. And the train came. And I'm thinking, I'm gonna have to get on the train with all these people. I'm gonna look, they're gonna know. They're all gonna know he was just in the shitter. I'm thinking to myself, they're all gonna know he just came from the toilet. Look at him. Dun, 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 dun. He just dropped a big deuce. The train pulls up. I get into the train. I sit down. There's nobody in the train. And the train is freezing. And I look around and I go, man, this train is actually really nice. I mean, it was much nicer than the Thai trains. And then the thing starts taking off. I'm the only one in the train, in the car. I'm sitting there. Then I start freezing my ass off. I got dried sweat. Who knows what else. I got a warm feeling down yonder. And they pass me a little thing of water and like a little piece of bread. And the thing is that once I got to Singapore, I thought I was still in Malaysia. And they were like, no, this is Singapore, man. I was like, oh, I wasn't ready for it. It happened a little faster than I thought. And then I still had to take a train to wherever my hotel was or whatever, which one of the trips, I think I took third class the whole way. I wanted to see how cheap can I get to Singapore. And it was like, I think the whole thing with like my taxi and everything to train station was something like $29. I'm not the funky type, fortunately. Although you never know, they could have been, who knows, they were probably reveling in it. So I get out and I'm like, okay, where do I go? And at this point it's hot, it's Singapore, it's very hot and humid. And I have to find this place I'm going, and it turns out the place I'm going, because I wanted to do it on the cheap. I want to see how cheap I could do everything. And I had some money, but I just, this, every once in a while I do that. How little can I get there for? And I rented this place, and I had a bed. And it was like an 8-room youth hostel. Well, like there was 8 beds in the room. And I'm there, and there's nobody in the room. And then this Indian guy comes in. And, my first thought was, oh, no. But he turned out to be a really nice guy. We talked for a long time. Like for the 3 days I was there, we talked. I'm still connected to him. He's always told me if I ever go to India, let him know. He's a nice guy. And then I went out and did my thing and photographed Singapore. But yeah, that was my, I didn't have any issues on the way back though. But I'll tell you one thing you don't want. You don't want to have to take a dump on a Thai train. That's another golden rule. If at all possible, don't go on a Thai train because it's so jerky and it moves around. It moves around so much that you may end up going right on yourself. And that's, yeah, there we go. It's at the end of the stream, and this is how we do it. Do the train toilets empty? Yes, they do. They empty right back right onto the tracks. Which is why they don't want you going to the restroom while they're stopped. What was this here? What's the border crossing like on the train, Malaysia? Very easy. I did everything inside the train. They came in the train, checked everything, then the train pulled up to the station and I got out. So they don't even let you into the station, because there's a buffer zone. So they don't let you into the station until you've been checked. But it was very easy, straightforward. I'm glad you like these live streams. Well, I saw some video or something of somebody, I don't even remember where they were, but it was something like they were in, I don't know, Russia or Albania or something. I don't know where it was. I don't remember. Obviously, it wasn't important enough for me to remember, but the guy was like, "I'm very sorry, but I have to go to the bathroom really bad." And so he went into the bathroom, and there was some guy. He met some guy in the shitter, and he goes, I have to use the toilet really bad. Please, can you hold my gimbal for me? He had it on a gimbal. Can you hold my gimbal for me? He's like, I'll be out in like 2 minutes. The guy waited for him, just holding the gimbal. Oh, God. Poo stories always make me laugh. I gotta write a whole book about poo stories. You don't even want to know the stories I got from this trip in Hua Hin. Let me tell you. There were so many different noises coming out of our room. I mean, just from the snoring and the farting. Oh my goodness. Excrement express to Singapore. Well, you could take the first class. I mean, it's not that expensive, but it was like, it cost me like 70 baht or something on one of the trips. It was some ridiculous amount. And it doesn't matter where you are, the toilet is still just a hole in the floor. And it's a metal floor, and much like in Malaysia, the floor has water on it and, dried toilet paper, wet toilet paper. It's just nasty, Anyway, I think we're just about done with our stream for the day. I may not stream until Friday, or I may stream on Thursday. I'm not sure. Friday is my birthday. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to do anything, but I don't know if I want to stream. Who knows what my wife has planned. I think she's working, so. But in the next couple days, I have never ever taken a dump on an airplane, ever. I have on a train once, and I was very careful how I did it. My aim was spot on, because if it wasn't, it would have been on me. You know, so you got to be careful. I've never taken one in a bus. Plenty of pisses, but no, I never taken a dump on a bus. And minivan is out of the question. You can request that they stop on the side of the road and take a leak on the side of the road. That's perfectly normal here. Taxi drivers do it all the time. So, with that, thank you very much. That's just nasty. I mean, it's like too close. There's not enough clearance. There's not enough clearance for everything. If you know what I mean. Visualize it. Anyway, appreciate everybody joining me. Well, if it's an emergency, that's different, and I've had a few in my life, but the older you get, the more you have, and as Jono says, never trust a fart. Especially when you're older, never trust one. And I understand exactly what he means. You got to be very careful, especially when you get older. The beer camp, beers, I don't know where she is. I don't know if she's over here. Nope, she's in the back here. Well, that would be kind of nasty. I've had some close calls in my day. I don't mind using the woods. The woods is one thing. But out in public, that's a completely different story. Oh, I still got coffee left. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the contributions. Please leave a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. We got 50-something. We had like almost 70 people today. Only got 34 thumbs up, so maybe some people don't like the poo stories. I don't know. I'd say that we should keep an eye on what's going on here and until we get more of the details. But we're headed in the right direction, I think. So thanks again. Leave me a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'll see you in the next couple of days. Thank you very much, Paul. I appreciate that. I'll see you guys when I see you. I'm Scott. I'm an American back in Bangkok. Until next time, Chok Di Leo Jerken Mai. Good luck and see you later. All right? Let's see here. I don't know what I can do here. She's just not around, Gennaro. I'm trying to give you that last look, but if she comes out, I'm sure she'll wave at you. She likes you, Gennaro. She knows she has a fan club. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.